Alright. So, as usual, I always want to recap what we have learned. Okay, the last class we learned about description of fluid flow. How to analyze the flow, right? So I introduce you two type of description, Lagrangian, very special name, Lagrangian and Eulerian description. Those is the name of the scientists discover this kind of method. Okay, the scientist named Lagrangian discovered that in order to analyze the particle flow, the particle must be selected. And then it will analyze in terms of position, velocity as a function of time. That means we need to monitor the particle closely. Whatever it is, we must monitor in the function of time. However, for the Eulerian approach, it's quite different. It focuses on one region and then you monitor the car inside the region as the function of location and time. Alright, so Newton laws mean for the Lagrangian viewpoint. Okay, we use previously normally we use the Newton law, Newton first law, second law, F equal to 0, F equal to ma, all use the Lagrange viewpoint, which is it monitor based on the time only. So now we need to get an equation to apply for the Eulerian viewpoint. Remember, the Eulerian viewpoint is a function of both, which is space and time. Space that means x, y, and z plus time. You need to monitor in terms of two functions, the space and time. So what do you monitor? The variable. You monitor the temperature, velocity, pressure, and so on as a function of time. So we have the Q. For example, Q can be any fluid property like velocity, acceleration, pressure, temperature, density, and so on. All right. So, as we mentioned, in terms of Eulerian viewpoint, that means we need to represent those variables in terms of space and time. So, how to represent? Let's say this is dq over dt. Okay, remember this is dq over dt as a Lagrangian viewpoint. Okay, this is in terms of time only. Now we need to apply in terms of Eulerian. We need to convert. So that means we need to, this dq is the same. The capital D and the small d is basically the same. Okay, but sometimes people call D as a material derivative, total derivative. Doesn't matter. The most important thing, it is the same. Okay. So since this is the function of time and space, we represent the partial derivative of Q over partial derivative of time dt dt. Okay, that means I introduce you the first expression in terms of time plus the second expression partial derivative of Q over partial derivative of X. Okay, dx over dt. If you try to cancel x over x with x, you will get q over t, the same as here. Do you know the difference between partial derivative and total derivative d? Do you know the difference, class? Why I put the partial? Why not put the D? What's the difference? Any idea? Hazim. Any idea, Hazim? What's the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the difference between partial?
Partial and?
Partial derivative and total derivative.
Partial we only do the part we want lah. But if we did another one, we have to do it all, I guess.
Okay. Nazrin? Any idea? Okay, as it name, partial and total.
To simplify.
Okay, it's okay. For example, we have a container. Okay, this container filled with water. All right. Okay, this container filled with water. Okay, inside the container we have this container moving at certain velocity. At v velocity. So this v, if we want to find the acceleration, dv over dt, right? Okay, the total acceleration for the whole container. However, in this container filled with liquid, okay, let's say the liquid have the particle. Okay, the particle of fluid. This particle of fluid have their own velocity. Okay, it will move randomly. Okay, velocity 1, velocity 2, velocity 3, 4, and velocity 5. So, the partial mean, it considered as individual velocity. So, in order to get the acceleration for this particle, partial derivative of v over partial derivative of time. Same goes for here, partial derivative of v4 over partial derivative of time. Okay, so far I hope you understand, yeah, the difference. All right. So this is in terms of x. Okay, we must continue in terms of y and z direction. So this is plus partial derivative of q, partial derivative of y. This is dy over dt plus partial derivative of q over partial derivative of z dz over dt. Okay, we must know that this dx over dt is represent of u, and dy over dt is function of as a v, and dz over dt as a velocity. Okay, that means this is your coordinate system. Z, this is X, this is Y. Okay, the particle move, this is particle move here. Okay, at time 1 and time 2. So you can see X, for example, as X1 and X2. The change in X, dx over dt is equal to X2 minus X1 over T2 minus T1. Okay, this is actually represent as U. Okay, and then maybe we have the Y. Y, okay, dy over dt. That means the movement in Y direction with respect to time, we consider as a V. movement in z direction with respect to time equal to W. Okay, then we can replace the equation become this partial derivative of Q over partial derivative of T. This one definitely we can cancel out lah, equal to 0. But we want to show you in terms of time. And here we want to show you in terms of space. Plus partial derivative of Q, partial derivative of X, U. Partial derivative of Q, partial derivative of Y, V. Plus partial derivative of Q over partial derivative of Z, W. So this is the Eulerian viewpoint. Alright. So now we will describe the velocity and acceleration only. Alright. Since we have so many fluid property like pressure, viscosity, velocity, acceleration. For the time being now, for your course, we cover only two. Velocity and acceleration. Okay. This Q can be many things. Okay. Maybe acceleration, velocity and so on lah. So let's take a look about the one of the famous fluid property, which is velocity field. Okay, I show you. This is the coordinate. This is X, this is Y, and this is Z. And then we have the motion. Okay, this is vector. Remember that velocity is a vector form. It consists of magnitude and direction. So the direction in X is we call as I. In J, this is Y, we call as a J. And this in Z, we call as a K. Alright, I hope you understand this concept, yeah. So velocity average, basically U in terms of X, Y, and Z, and time. This is in terms of I direction. V, X, Y, and Z, and time, plus W, X, Y, and Z, time in K direction. This is J. Alright. So this is in terms of the velocity vector form. Okay. I, J, and K. To get the magnitude, V equal to the square root of U squared plus V squared plus W squared. Now we go to the acceleration. Okay, so acceleration. What is acceleration? Acceleration is the change of velocity over time. So now we try to put this way. The average acceleration equal to average velocity change over dt. Okay, since velocity average is a function of space and time, thus we must represent them using the chain rule. Okay, so I want to represent, okay, must represent them using chain rule. Chain rule, that means over by over. You want to make sure it is balanced. Okay. So let's say this is average over dv over dt equal to partial derivative of v. The same thing that we have derived before using the q. Okay, dt over dt. Alright. Plus partial derivative of v over x dx dt plus partial derivative of v average over y dy dt plus partial derivative of v average over z dz over dt. So we know that this term, okay, refer to W. This term refer to V. This term refer to small u. So I need to replace this term to simplify the equation. So now it becomes, okay, it becomes partial derivative of V average over dt. Sorry. Okay, this is cancelled out lah, nothing. Okay, because we want to show to you only. Alright. So plus u, okay, this is u, move in front. Okay, u, v. And finally w. Alright. So now you notice that, okay, this is V average. Okay. So that means it is the combination of U, V and W. Okay, combine U, V and W. So I want to make it as the individual. So instead of this is average acceleration, I want to separate in terms of X, Y and Z component. So if I separate, now it is not become average anymore. It is become individual acceleration at the right direction and location. So now equal to, again, partial derivative V now become U over partial derivative of T. Why become U? Because this is in terms of X. And you know that the V is average, the combination of U, V and W. So now I want to focus on X. I remove V and W. So anything pertaining to the V average, I replace with U. Okay, this is U, partial derivative of U over partial derivative of X. Again, this is V, partial derivative of U over partial derivative of Y. Plus W, partial derivative of U over partial derivative of Z. Okay. Remember, this is in X direction. X direction, we only focus of U. For the Y direction, we focus on what? We focus on V. Partial derivative of, instead of U, this become V. This is U, the same. This is V, the same. This is W, the same. But the change is here. Okay, now become V, small v, small v. Simple. And Y and Z. Partial derivative of W, partial derivative of T. Plus U plus V plus W over with partial derivative of time, partial derivative of time, partial derivative, partial derivative, partial derivative. This is W. W. Okay, finish. Alright, you see that between AX, Y, and Z, there is a similarity. Where is the similarity? Okay, I highlight the similarity. U, same with this one. V, V, V. Okay. You can see partial derivative, this one, similar. Right, very similar. Sorry. Let me check. Okay, so this is not T lah. Okay, this is not T. Sorry, this is correct. This is not T. Alright. This is partial derivative of x. You follow this one, yeah? This one. You follow this one. X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z. Okay, you can see the similarity. This one, similar, 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 similar. Very similar. Very similar. So what should I do if it is similar? I can do factorization. Okay. So what I can do is I do the factorization. How to do? Okay. Okay. So to simplify this, okay. This is partial derivative of u over partial derivative of time. Okay, plus bracket. You can see u, u, u. We can have u here. And then inside here, basically, it is partial derivative over partial derivative of x. Okay, like this. And this is V average. Okay, V average means the combination of U, V, and W. U, V, and W. So again, this is V time. Okay, this is average here. Because we have U, V, and W. This refer to, let me finish this one first. U, V, and W. Alright. Where this average multiply with this symbol is basically U, V, W. U, V, W refer to this combination. Okay, I hope you understand the concept. But this one, okay, refer to this one. Alright, so this is the shortest version. You short the shortest version. So at the end, the final equation will become like this. The average acceleration become dv average over dt. This is the general one. This is general. All of you understand. But now we want to separate into the space and time. Okay, to show you the Eulerian viewpoint. So partial derivative of v average over partial derivative of time plus, okay, this is, I want to show you in terms of time. Okay, this is in terms of space. So this is u, v average over partial derivative of x. This is p, partial derivative of average over partial derivative of y. This is w, partial derivative of v over partial derivative of z. Okay. And this is in terms of space. Now, this is totally complete the Eulerian viewpoint. Alright. Basically, we can simplify. Okay. Average multiply with, this is a dot product, yeah. Remember dot product, when you have a multiplication with the parallel, the same direction, it is giving you the value. Multiplication with the perpendicular direction, it gives you 0. Okay, that's it. Alright. This is just to show you lah. Alright, this is a time. And this is the space. Okay, any question? You must be confusing. Very long derivation, right? Do you think this gonna be in the exam? You gonna derive? Do you think this will be included in the exam? Derivation, everything? What do you think?
No.
Okay. It depends. First, you must understand your course information. Okay, pertaining to this chapter, you are asked to calculate and analyze. Okay, so basically the question will ask you to calculate based on what kind of scenario. You have a different problem, you need to analyze the situation and calculate. That is your objective, all right? Sometimes the question require you to prove, give you certain parameter, x1, 2, x3, p1, p2, you need to prove. Okay, that is most of the question will be come out lah, like that. Alright, we take a look about example 1. Alright. This is 2D velocity field is given by, okay, this is vector form here, I and J. Do you notice there is no K direction, there is no Z direction because this is only 2D. When it is 2D, just draw like this. This is X and this is Y. The vector in the X we call as a I, the vector in the Y we call as a J. Alright. So from here, we can directly compare V equal to, okay, equal to what? Okay, equal to, this is I refer to the direction vector. Direction in X and Y. So this is direction. Definitely this is the magnitude. Remember vector form must consist of magnitude and direction. So V refer to, this is vector, refer to magnitude U I plus V J plus W K. This is the standard form. U is a magnitude, I is the direction. You must understand that since this is a vector form. Since it only involve I and J, we cancel out this term. Right? We delete this term to ease our calculation. Then we can compare. U is what? We know that U is x squared minus y squared plus x. And V now become negative 2xy, negative y. Now you can do the comparison. So the question asks, find the acceleration x and y, direction. Compute at the location 1 and 2. So what should I do? Go back to your equation acceleration. Where is the acceleration in x direction? This one, alright. Okay, this one. So I copy and paste whole of this equation and I consider only y and x direction only. Okay, because w is 0. So this is 2D. So I write the equation. In order to get ax is equal to partial derivative. Sorry, okay, make it bigger. Okay, in order to get x, this is based on equation, yeah. I follow directly from the equation. Partial derivative of u over partial derivative of t plus u partial derivative of u over partial derivative of x plus v partial derivative of u over partial derivative of y. Okay, is it the same? Yes, it is the same. Okay, this is equation. So since we have no time component, you look at here, the velocity is not the function of time. So that means that the time is, there is no change of property over time. So we can cancel out over time. So we can cancel out this one equal to 0. It doesn't mean the time equal to 0. No, yeah. It is not t equal to 0. That means there is no change of property over time. So that means it is constant. So when it is constant, no change of property over time, it is 0. Please don't confuse. It is not time equal to 0. After that, okay, you can see u I have, v I have from here. U I have, v I have. So how to get this one? Partial derivative of u, partial derivative of u over partial derivative of x. So I'm using this one. I try to differentiate. In terms of x, when it is referred to in terms of x, partial derivative of x, so that means others will be constant. So 2x negative y squared, you differentiate, you become what? What become? What do you get? Differentiation of negative y squared. Class, do you know how to differentiate?
Negatif y kuasa 2 kan? Sebab kan dia tu.
Okay, okay, negatif y kuasa 2. Okay. Ada question, ada answers? Is it negative y kuasa? Okay. And any other idea?
Untuk
Zero.
yang U tu
Differentiate u terhadap x.
So it mean first yang tu jadi 2x
Okay.
and then minus 0 plus 1.
Oh, pandai. Okay, perfect. Okay, why minus 0?
Sebab we differentiate partially with x. So maknanya mana yang tak ada x tu kita consider as constant. Kalau differentiate constant jadi kosong.
Okay, betul. Good. Okay, class. Please understand the concept of differentiation. We must refer to this concept. Okay, when we refer to x, others will be constant. Okay, so that means y will be the constant. So differentiation of constant becomes 0. So we only focus of x. So x squared move here. Oh, sorry. Move here and minus 1. So 2x. So differentiation of y squared, 0, nothing. Differentiate of x, this is the power of 1. Go here, plus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So x the power of 0 equal to 1. This is basic lah. Okay. Good. Alright. Now, if you can see we have... okay. We can substitute what we have got here. Okay. You just replace here x squared minus y squared plus x and multiply with partial derivative of u over partial derivative of x is here. 2x plus 1 plus v. V is here. Negative 2xy minus y. Multiply with partial derivative of u over y. So how to get partial derivative of u? partial derivative of u over partial derivative of y. That means we select this one. We must select this one because we want to differentiate. Sorry. No. Okay. We must select u because we want to differentiate u over y. Okay, that means our variable now y. So the x now, okay, become constant. You differentiate x squared, whatever the degree it is, it's still constant. So it is 0. You differentiate negative y squared, it become negative 2y. That's it. Okay. Just replace here, negative 2y. Okay, and then this is a x complete. So ay is, okay, I write it down, the equation of ay. Okay, partial derivative of u, sorry, not u, the v, okay. Partial derivative of v over partial derivative of time plus u, partial derivative of v over partial derivative of x plus v, partial derivative of v over partial derivative of y. Okay, same again, no change of property, no change of velocity over time. This is 0. And just substitute the value, very simple. I want to substitute a y, now become u. U is here, x squared minus y squared plus x multiply with v. Okay, this one. Differentiate of partial derivative of v over partial derivative of x. So, partial derivative of v over partial derivative of x, partial derivative of v over partial derivative of y. Alright, so I must select this one because I want to differentiate v. Okay, for over x. So x now become variable. So negative 2y. Okay, negative 2y only. Because y become constant. So partial derivative of v over partial derivative of y, again, the y become variable. So now it becomes negative 2x minus 1. Okay. So just substitute in this equation. Okay. Partial derivative of v negative 2y plus v here is negative 2xy minus y. Okay, and then negative 2x minus 1. Complete, finish. So finally, you need to substitute x equal to, you need to substitute lah. Substitute x, y basically equal to 1 and 2. Because this is the magnitude. Alright, start with ax first. Okay, focus this one, yeah. Okay, how to do that? Okay, x is 1. 1 squared minus 2 squared plus 1. 2 multiply with 1 plus 1. Plus negative 2 multiply with 1 multiply with 2 minus 2. And negative 2 multiply with 2. Okay, you will get ax equal to 18 meter per second squared. Okay, now we proceed on, okay, this one. Alright, I want you focus. So, ay, basically the same thing, just substitute. Negative 2 multiply with 2 plus negative 2 multiply with 1 multiply with 2 minus 2. Negative 2 multiply with 1 minus 1. You calculate, you will get 26 meter per second square. Alright. Simple. Now you have solved question A. Now question B, the velocity component in the direction of 40. This is more on the vector lah. Okay. So I want to get the velocity specifically in the direction of 40. How to do that? Okay, I want to get the direction of 40. So first we need to know the velocity component first. We need to find the velocity. Okay, this is A and this is B. I need to find the velocity first. It is given that from this equation, this is the velocity, right? But we need to substitute the value of x and y. So this is x squared, y squared, x. This is in terms of I direction. 2xy. 2xy. In j direction. Okay. So just substitute the value. Okay. Substitute x and y equal to 1 and 2. So you will get 1 squared minus 2 squared plus 1. This is I minus 2 multiply with 1 multiply with 2 plus 2. This is j. Okay, you will get here basically negative 2i minus 6j. Okay, this is the value of velocity lah. Okay, now let's draw the axis. Okay. Okay, this is x and this is y, right? Now, take a look. You have negative 2i. Where is negative 2i? At the left side, right? Okay, at the left side. 1, okay, at the left side. Maybe this is 1, this is 2. And then negative 6 at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is your vector, basically. Okay, this is your vector, v. Okay. Your vector v. Negative 2i minus 6j. Okay. But the problem here is we need to find the velocity not in this direction. We need to find velocity in the direction of 40. Okay. That means this direction. Okay. 40. So, we need to find this velocity in this direction. So, how to do that? Any idea? This is the concept of velocity vector ni. The vector calculus. If you learn how to get that. Basically, you need to find the unit vector first. This is SPM. Unit vector. So, unit vector. Okay, remember what is the unit vector? Anyone? Do you still know what is a unit vector? What is unit vector? Before we start. You can Google.
Square
More
root.
time.
Square root to the magnitude.
Okay, the square root of magnitude. Why we need to divide with the square root of magnitude?
Like apa, hypotenuse. Macam tu lah.
Okay, because we got the vector and then we need to divide with the magnitude of that vector because unit vector has the magnitude of what? What is the value of magnitude of unit vector? 1. Unit vector, the magnitude is 1. No value. So, very simple, cos 40 I plus sin 40 J. Okay. So, in order to get the velocity in the direction, same direction to N, use this one, V dot product with N. Remember, when you do the dot product, you will get the value because the dot refer to the same direction got the value. Different direction equal to 0. Okay. I believe you understand, yeah, the difference between dot product and cross product. Okay. The dot product like this. This is A, this is B. A multiply with B got the value X. The A, okay. For the A, cross product with B got the value of what? A cross product with B. What's the value? The cross. Cross. You remember the cross only focus on perpendicular. Normal. So, this is not the perpendicular. It is equal to 0. Nothing. So, that is why you must use dot product. Because the dot product want to align A to B. Okay, now you want to align V to N, you must use dot product. Okay, so V is negative 2I minus 6J dot product with, okay, cos 40I plus sin 40J. Okay, again, this you can multiply. This you can multiply. I multiply with I. So I multiply with I, which is I is negative 1. Multiply with negative 1, it is positive 1. Okay, so I multiply with J, I dot product with J equal to 0. Okay, I dot product with I equal to 1. Okay, you must know the concept, yeah. So negative 2 multiply with cos 40, you will have negative 2 cos 40. Okay, this is I with I. Cancel. So this is 6 sin 40. You will get finally negative 5.39 meter per second. Okay, lastly, direction of maximum acceleration. Okay, in order to get the direction of maximum acceleration, you must know what is your acceleration. Okay, your acceleration. Remember, your acceleration is consider, okay, your acceleration. What's the value of your acceleration? It must be a x in I direction and ay in j direction. You must convert in terms of vector form, yeah. What is your ax value? 18. 18I plus 26j. Okay. To get the magnitude is quite simple. Okay. 18 squared plus 26 squared. You will get 31.4. Okay, meter per second squared. To get the direction, okay, let's say this is your coordinate. Okay, this is 18. Okay, this is X and this is Y. This is 18, 1, 2, 3, 18 and 26. Okay, this is your A. This is your A. Okay. So to do that, okay, in order to get this angle, alright, very simple, you can use tangent. Tangent theta, opposite over adjacent. So opposite, okay, opposite is 26, adjacent is 18. So 26 over 18. So you will get tangent equal to 55.3 degree. That's it. Simple kan? Okay, any question? Okay. This is your homework. Simple. I give you the simplest homework because this is only V. Okay, compute the vector. Okay, sorry. This is homework. This is only V. You need to, in order to get the acceleration, you need to differentiate lah. Ax, Ay, and Az. Okay, use the same equation. Okay. So now you notice it has the time component. So you must not cancel the time. Okay, this is your homework lah. I give you homework. Alright. So for the next class, tomorrow, I'm going to continue on this one. The fluid flow anti-Bernoulli. Okay. Finish lah. Only 3 slide. Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
Alright. Okay.
So, doktor, pasal yang ada time tadi tu, so nanti maknanya kita carry je lah time tu sampai hujung.
Betul. Correct. We must carry the time.
Partial derivative tu tak payah jadikan kosong.
Macam yang ni tak ada time, so ada total kan.
Okay, macam ni kan. Kan kita nampak kan sini, if you take a look, dia punya expression V no time kan. So there is no change of property over time lah. But if this one, okay, nampak tak? It mention, is this flow steady or unsteady? What do you mean? What do you think steady or unsteady? Steady means no change of time. Unsteady means there is a change of time. What do you think?
Unsteady lah sebab ada time.
Yes, perfect. It is unsteady sebab you can see it is over the it is time here, nampak tak? Ada time sini. So it is unsteady. So when it is unsteady, you must differentiate. Kan dia ada macam ni, acceleration equal to du over dt kan, plus everything semua. In this part, you need to differentiate this one. This is u, this is v, and this is w. So u is 4dx. In order to get du over dt, become 4x. That's it. Just substitute to the equation dalam ni. Okay, clear tak so far the konsepnya?
Clear, doktor.
Cuba dulu.
Okay, you can try lah. Basically, I give you the tips lah. Okay, nak tanya everyone, I want to ask tomorrow at 11 o'clock until 1 PM, do you have any class?
Ada.
Ada eh?
Ada, doktor.
Ada. Ada.
Okay, okay. Okay. Tomorrow we continue anti-Bernoulli equation and then it is complete lah for me for for your preparation on test 1. Okay. So please attend tomorrow. It will be the lecture. It will be the lecture. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much. It's already 5 p.m. Okay. I end my session with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good luck and all the best class.
Thank you, Doktor.
Okay,
Thank you,
welcome.
Doktor.
Terima kasih, Doktor.
Sama.
Thank you, Doktor.